programme is called Something for the Weekend. It has been created and produced by Dave Clark. It is a How production for Sound Art Radio. Right, well, here we are. So here we are in the car park. It's a lovely car park. It's called The Quay because it's right by the water. We're in the historic town of Kingsbridge. And today it's going to be, Kingsbridge. We haven't been here before, so that's good. And we're going to meet some really interesting people. So we're going to meet Alison Thieker. Now, she has a business called The Spark. So we're going to talk to Alison about that and what she does with The Spark. And but we're also going to find out about how Alison I say the word relax, but I don't know whether it is really relaxing. It sounds like a lot of hard work to me. But she puts on art events in a gallery, art shows. So we're going to go along to the art show, and this one's really going to be quite interesting. I think it's themed around the sea. Well, that's good. We're in a very maritime part of the old world. But as I understand it, there's all kinds of works there. Some of them are sourced from local schools and some children and so on. And I think a lot of them are made out of bits and pieces of what do you call sea junk, rubbish, pollution, plastic. And of course plastic's the big issue at the moment. So I kind of heard this statistic the other day, and I'm not quite sure whether it's true, but here goes. So it's something like by 2040, certainly within the near future, if we carry on at the rate we are currently putting plastic into the ocean, there'll be more weight of plastic in the oceans than there would be weight of fish. I mean, that's just bizarre. Right, so here we are at the Harbour House. So they've got a lot of things going on here. Let's have a look. Yoga, meditation, Tai Chi, art classes and exhibitions, a vegetarian cafe, and a delightful rear garden. Hello. Great. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a coffee.
Right.
So you'll be here, won't you?
Oh, yes.
You'll be here. Great. Wow, look at this huge jellyfish.
Bring your own to-go mug with you when you visit a coffee shop.
Hi, could I have a cortado, please?
Seek out alternatives to the plastic items that you rely on.
Okay. And I think I'll just have a piece of that, please.
And reuse wherever you can. Volunteer to do some cleaning up. Support plastic bag bans, polystyrene foam bans, and support bottle recycling bills. Is it possible to go plastic free?
Thank you very much. Cortado.
Spread the word. Talk to your family and friends about why it's important to reduce
That's lovely,
plastic.
thanks a lot.
Personally, I think one of the easiest things to do is to stop buying bottled water. Buy a reusable container. Buy some high quality Japanese charcoal to purify tap water, and you can drink clean water every day, and you can reduce some 16 million bottles that the UK throws away
started. This is our third show.
Uh-huh.
We wanted to do an art show. We wanted to do an art show that also had something else about it. So we were inspired by the first one, which is called Loving the Beach, simply because all of the stuff that we saw washed up on the beach, and we wanted to actually not essentially have a message, but actually say to people, could you just take it home? That was the real kind of thing. And so really now what we are doing with this one is saying, so this is all the stuff that's floating around in the sea. So we've made stuff out of the plastic, so there's artwork made out of plastic. There's obviously nice pictures of the sea and the beach and things like that that my husband Rod Birtles has taken. But we've also done some outreach with primary schools. That's always been part of our deal, I suppose, that we want to say to kids, here's a kind of thing, and let's have a look at what's happening in the environment, let's have an artistic response to it, and actually you get to exhibit in the gallery as well. So it's not like you have to be artist or trained. They can actually be creative, and they can see that actually it's not a big secret. They can make something, and they get to, in fact we've had somebody in this morning, one of the girls that was on the art workshop, who came in and found her jellyfish that was hanging up, which was a really nice moment. So there's all of that kind of happening, and then at the same time, as you can see, we've got a sand pit, because obviously it's about the beach, and we've got things for them to draw, colour in about turtles, because the other thing that we found about gallery space is that it can be a bit frightening, particularly if you've got kids. The kids kind of look at it for 2 minutes and then they want to go away. So what we're actually saying is actually come in, the gallery is a friendly space, you can do activities, you can play in the sandpit, it's all right to make a mess. And you can be inspired to be creative, you can draw the turtle, you can do your own drawing and colouring, there's things to do that. So there's a lot of kind of things going on.
Over the last 10 years, we have produced more plastic than during the whole of the last century.
Jamie, how did you break your arm?
Football.
I'm always interested to know. Did you fall over?
No, I was in goal.
Okay, did you get hit by a ball?
Yeah.
Do you know, it's funny, because when I was about your age, I broke my arm, and it was one of those space hoppers. Those big, somebody threw a space hopper at me, and I stuck my arm out to stop it, and it did something a little bit like that.
Yeah.
So have you done any? Do you go to school around here?
No. Yes, I go to school in Felston though.
In Felston.
I live in Kingsbridge.
Okay. And did you do any of the?
No.
Oh, okay.
No one here did.
Okay.
It was kind of the middle-ish class, and we were all in different classes.
Okay.
There's only a few.
Right. Would you like to have done some of it? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of it?
It looks really good. I mean, I didn't make it, so I don't know how it's made, but.
Well, I think
it's
they're
nice.
They look like they're quite easy to make.
Yeah.
But
Some years ago we were on holiday in the States, and we saw this exhibition that was made out of recycled plastic, and I just kind of thought, you know what, let's just hire the gallery in Harbour House. It's great, you can just hire it for a week, it's not very expensive. And I said, I'm going to make this huge mermaid out of all the trash that washes up on the beach, and we're just going to do something to say to people, you can do something about plastic, you don't have to just feel helpless. So that's kind of how it started.
Of the plastic we use just once and throw it away.
would you go to the beach much yourself?
Do you think the beach much? Yeah, I'd say we do. Yeah.
Do you find lots of rubbish on the beach, lots of plastic?
Yeah.
What do you think we can do about it?
Pick it up.
Pick it up. That's a good start, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what about we all got to try and use a bit less, haven't we?
Yeah. We did the environmental thing, didn't we?
Did you? That sounds interesting.
Yeah, we won the Kingsbridge Environmental Award thing.
Really?
Yeah.
What, your school? Or?
Every year at
No,
we've had one Citizen of the Year award.
Okay.
This year they changed it to different categories.
Okay.
And these three won the environmental challenge because with my mum and dad, they like to do not beach cleans, but more litter picking in Kingsbridge.
Okay, that's good.
So they go up and down certain roads.
Yeah.
So they won the Citizen of the Year for environmental.
Feel good for you.
Yeah.
That's really good. Well
That's
done.
quite fun.
Well, that's really good. Keep it up, because we're kind of going to depend on you to make sure that we live in a cleaner world in the future. There's no doubt about that.
The last one was called The Magic Forest,
Okay.
which was all about the importance of woodlands, you know, and we did a whole lot about myths and legends, how many fairy tales are set in woods and forests and stuff like that. And that was the one where my husband Rod built a tree in the gallery, and we had a den that children could go into and be babes in the woods. So again, quite interactive. And as I say, the first one was called Loving the Beach, and that's where we had the idea of the sandpit. You know, so those are the kind of themes. So it's an artistic theme, but it also has a kind of environmental element to it.
Enough plastic is thrown away each year to circle the Earth 4 times.
Well, it's really nice talking to you. Thank you very much, and good luck with that pioneering work that you're doing, clearing up Kingsbridge. You'll have to come over to Totnes, which is where I live, and clear up there. Maybe we can make it spread.
This year, particularly, we asked Emma Carter, who's another local artist, to come in and run the art workshop in the primary schools, because it's pretty manic in a primary school. They're very active, they're very energetic, and it's good to have somebody else there. So she came in and she managed the turtle and had the ideas about the jellyfish and different things that they could make for themselves. So that was brilliant. So she's actually got a piece of her artwork here, which is this huge piece at the back of the gallery, which I think is the biggest she's ever done. So it was a good opportunity to work together with her.
We currently recover only 5% of the plastic that we produce. Plastic in the ocean breaks down into such small fragments that pieces of plastic from a 1 litre bottle could end up on every mile of beach throughout the world.
Right, so this is the kind of thing we've got on show. I mean, this is sort of right up my street, really. It's called Icelandic Reflection, and Icelandic Reflection 2. Just a beautiful, beautiful piece of photography. The blue water and the reflection of the skies. The blue in the water is darker than that of the sky.
Production of plastic uses around 8% of the world's oil production. Annually, approximately 500 billion plastic bags are used worldwide. More than 1 billion bags are used every minute.
Some wonderful clouds here at Bantham, and looks like Burr Island as well. So they're very nice photographs.
Americans alone throw away 35 billion plastic water bottles every year. plastic accounts for around 10% of the total waste we generate.
St Michael's Mount. Another lovely photograph by Rod. And I was there the other day actually. He's really captured that. Wet sand and it's amazing trees on the small island there. And again a huge sky. What's the background to the Spark? How did that all happen?
Right. It started 2009.
Yep.
And it was one of those things that I got made redundant from my work in higher education.
Yeah.
And I just kind of discovered that I quite liked working for myself, amazingly. And it started with somebody asking me about my advice on public relations, which is kind of what I did and what I taught.
Mm-hmm.
And then it became much broader as I started working with people who had other small businesses. And it was all about, well, I've got too many ideas, how do I focus them down?
Yep.
And things like that. So that was really useful. And then I actually worked for a variety of people delivering workshops, because obviously all my time in higher education I'd had a lot of practice standing at the front of a classroom and
Yep.
keeping the attention of undergraduates that have the attention span of a gnat, basically. So it was, well, how can we do something that's really fun, that you can learn things, that you come away with something that you can use, that's valuable, not going to workshop and have that list of things that you suddenly put all your notes, you think that was great, you put all your notes in a drawer, and then a month later you find, oh, I haven't done anything about that. And then I got more into kind of coaching generally, and I did a coaching qualification, and I actually did it in the Lake District, where they taught you about coaching while walking, because you're 60% more creative when you're walking. And so I kind of do that. It's called Walk the Talk, and I take people for a walk if they've got a knotty problem that kind of just won't go away. And we do that.
46% of plastics float, and it can drift for years before eventually concentrating in the ocean.
Sometimes I have so many ideas, and you're going, well, which ones are really the ones that you want to do? And let's cut them down, because when you've got 100 ideas, you don't do any of them.
Sure.
But if you've got 3, then you can actually work your way through them. So it's actually just helping people to cut through all the mess, and just say, right, actually, if I did this, that would be really, really good. Oh, and I can do that quite simply with where I am at the moment. That's possible.
Yeah.
Well, let's do that. Oh, that succeeds. And then you get that wonderful upward spiral.
Yep.
I'm not interested in giving people loads of things to do so they can then have another list to beat themselves with.
No.
It's about how do you give somebody something that's actually going to be something they're going to succeed at. So they feel, great, I did that, and that was my idea, and I did it myself, and that worked.
Yep.
So when I have another idea, I'm going to try that one out.
The Great Pacific Garbage Patch is located in the North Pacific, off the coast of California. It's the largest ocean garbage site in the world. It's twice the size of Texas, with plastic pieces outnumbering sea life 6 to 1.
So we developed we're looking at a workshop for women who are kind of going through the menopause or think they might be about to. And I quite like that kind of collaboration, you know, and she's got different things, if you like, to bring to the party. She's yoga, meditation, nutrition, and I'm coaching, creativity, you know, enabling, you know, feeling good about yourself. So we kind of put that together in a day. So it is good. I do meet people I like to work with, and every so often I'll do something in a small team like that, which is great.
It takes 500 to 1,000 years for most plastics to degrade.
Probably have met me or know me. I mean, although I actually have had some work that's come to me through my website and through the internet, which is always interesting because I have no idea of that person at all, which is great actually sometimes because I've got no preconceptions, which is great. Sometimes people kind of meet me and we've known each other for a while and they say, oh, I think I need to come and see you about this. And I go, great. And what I have is I have something which I call homework, which is a pre-session homework, which is really what are your goals. I just say to people, what do you want out of this session? And get them to think about it and get them to write it down and either bring it with them or send it back to me.
Okay.
And then so they're actually starting to think, where would I like to be at the end of this hour? And then we can both work towards that.
So you mentioned your website. So if people want to get hold of you or find out a little bit more, what's the best way of doing that?
Yeah, the website is thesparkuk.com.
Sparkuk.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plastic constitutes approximately 90% of all trash floating on the ocean's surface, with 46,000 pieces of plastic per square mile.
Yeah, there's another one here. Again, it's by Rod Bertels, and it's called Vik. And weirdly, I know that place. It's in Iceland, and I was there in April. And it's got these most amazing granite stacks. So you can see the sea rolling on the black pebble beach. You can't actually see the beach, but the photograph almost looks 3D. It really does look like the waves are coming out at you. And amazing depth with the rocks. Looks a little bit like North Devon in a way, except for the huge stacks at the back. That place Vik is Vik there? Well, it is.
$1 billion seabirds and 100,000 marine mammals are killed annually from plastic in our oceans. Virtually every piece of plastic that was ever made still exists in some shape or form.
That Rod does a lot of photography. He's really captured some amazing skies and colours. Really quite, it's almost like looking at the real thing. But at different types of styles as well. We've got a very different set of they're called sea interludes. Sunday morning, moonlight, storm, all rather good. Misty compositions, blurred, totally different from the crisp and sharp images of the other photographs. But that one of Vic, I do like that one of Vic. Going back to that, really is quite something. So I'll have to dig out my old snaps.
Plastic chemicals can be absorbed by the body. 93% of Americans alone aged 6 or older test positive for BPA, a plastic chemical. %, of all seabird species, 22% of all cetaceans, that's large mammals such as dolphins and whales, all sea turtle species, and a growing list of fish species have been documented with plastic in or around their bodies.
And then we've got the actual, the really main piece, Emma Carter, Winds of Change, blow wild and free. So it's an acrylic on canvas, and it is pretty magnificent. 4 large panels, sweeping sky, dark rocks, and a tumultuous sea. Not stormy, not calm, but it's moving, and a little sail in the distance. Beautiful. Very, very, very draws the eye in.
Facts come from the website called thegreendivas.com. The sources for such research and information can all be found online on this site and many others. Is it possible to go plastic free? Bring your own to-go mug with you when you visit a coffee shop. Recycle and reuse wherever you can. And volunteer to do some cleaning up. Support plastic bag bans, polystyrene foam bans, and support bottle recycling bills. Spread the word. Talk to your family and friends about why it's important to reduce plastic. To stop buying bottled water. Buy a reusable container. Buy some high quality Japanese charcoal to purify tap water, and you can drink clean water every day, and you can reduce some 16 million bottles that the UK throws away every single day. Just go out and do it. Buy one online now.
That was a How production for Sound Art Radio. For more details, please visit soundartradio.org.uk, iamthehow.co.uk. And thanks for listening.